Welcome to a very chilly, windy, but beautiful Good Friday. Just coming back to work from a day off, so I'm not sure what to expect. My daughter and I recorded a video last night, not sure yet how it's going to come out because I haven't looked at the footage. But we did it on my cell phone and gimbal. And of course, after we started walking, the wind picked up last night. And the cell phone is notoriously bad at handling wind. And the footage may be completely unusable. So I'm going to kind of rehash some of the things that we talked about last night. Since I last worked on Wednesday, today is Friday, some of the changes have happened again in terms of social distancing rules. The governor spoke either Wednesday night or Thursday afternoon, somewhere in that, and laid out some new requirements that they wanted to see happen. First and foremost, they're requiring that all stores that have aisles like grocery stores make every aisle one way. So when you go up aisle 1, it'll go in one direction, aisle 2 will go in the opposite direction, aisle 3 changes again, and so on and so on. To help prevent people from passing by each other in the grocery aisles. Secondly, they got to make sanitizer wipes available for all customers and employees. Although employees, in our case, we have hand wash stations all over the store, so that would suffice in lieu of sanitizer wipes. Number 3, they're requesting that all retail locations that stay open have special hours for high-risk individuals, such as senior citizens and those with chronic illness. Number 4, all stores are to limit their number of people entering the building to 20% of what their current occupancy is in terms of the fire code. So with that, every store is different, every building is different, and those limits are generally determined by the local town and or city that they live in. Although it's generally a pretty standard rate of X number of people for every 1,000 square feet that your building has. But that document is usually kept somewhere in the building, and that the actual number that we're allowed to bring in the building is going to be 20% of that number. Most of that stuff is stuff that our store in particular was already doing. We had already, starting Wednesday I believe it was, we'd already dropped our number of people in the building down to 50% of the occupancy rate, so now we're down to 20%. Secondly, we had changed the way our traffic flow comes in and out of the door. In our particular grocery store, there's a pinch point. We only have one entrance in and out of the building, and it's through a single door that is only about the width of a garage door. But they took that door, divided it in half, and we're making all people come in and out. You'll come in on one side, you'll go out the other, so that there's no intermingling of people, and we're forcing everybody to go in one way and out the other. And once you get through that pinch point, that one door that enters the building, We have a vestibule that is actually open air. It's just got a wall, but the two ends of this vestibule are wide open. There's no door. So we're forcing, when you go out the door from inside the store, you have to either turn right or left. Well, now we're making all people leaving the building turn right, and all people entering the building have to go in the other way. So to further distance them accordingly. Oh, another rule that they instituted is all stores that have cashiers and check stands need to put a piece of plexiglass between the cashier and the customer. So we had already done that to help protect the associates. So yeah, those are all additional measures that have taken place. Officially in North Carolina, those take place effective Monday at, I think, 5 p.m. But we're already doing it in our store anyway. We had been doing it, and I think the governor took cues from what the grocery industry has been doing to help keep people apart, and made his rules to match what a lot of grocery stores are already doing, just to make sure that everybody's doing it if they haven't been already. So it'll be interesting to see what other measures will be happening when I get there today. Seems to be every day there's new rules coming out that help further distance everybody. As of yet, they haven't required us to wear a mask. But I had heard that that is probably coming, maybe as early as today. I'm not going to go out in search of masks because I don't particularly care to have a mask on my face all day long. I know it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's the hockey player in me that is rebellious to putting anything on my face. Hockey players are notorious for not wanting to wear face protection when they play. I personally choose to wear a cage, but when I play, but that's beside the point. But there are still a lot of players that choose not to wear a mask, so I guess it's that mentality that makes me not want to put on a mask. I feel like I'm doing a fairly decent job at keeping myself distant from other people. I'm certainly avoiding other customers as much as possible. Like they say, the 6-foot rule, I'm personally use more of a 10-foot rule as much as possible. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting today going into work. And it's Friday, which is generally a busy day in our particular department. There appears to be more traffic than there has been in the last week or two out today. We saw that yesterday when we went to Home Depot, that there was a lot of traffic, a lot more traffic than we had seen. So I think people are beginning to get a little bit cabin fever and are starting to go out and about again. Which I think would be fine as long as people know how to distance themselves. I see too many people that are still not doing it the right way. Like, you got people that are wearing gloves the entire time they're in the store, and they're touching everything, and they're even touching their face with the glove on, which kind of defeats the purpose. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end it for now because I will most likely have something to say when I get out of work tonight. So I get out at 7, and we'll be coming home right around sunset. So until then, we'll talk to you later. Oh, yay! Another day over. So today started out rather interesting. I pull in the parking lot of the store, and there was a line of people out the door. So I know I mentioned in this morning's segment that our restrictions on people in the building went from 50% of occupancy down to 20, because that's what the state is mandating starting on Monday. Well, they put that into place today officially, or I think yesterday actually. Put it into place yesterday, and that made it so that there is a line out the door at times during the day. Not all the time, just certain periods of the day when people tend to show up all at the same time, like first thing in the morning, at lunchtime, right before dinner. So basically the grocery business throughout the day, there's a lot of peaks and valleys in terms of customers coming into the building. And obviously during the peak times, there's going to be too many people trying to get into the store in order for us to let them all in. So that essentially was happening when I first pulled in this morning. I got there at about, just before 11, so this would have been a lunchtime peak period. And there was a line out the door of about 15 people. So I talked to a bunch of associates who had been there yesterday, because I was off yesterday. We were much busier yesterday than we were today. And they said, and there's a lot more senior citizens that shop on Thursdays at our store, because Thursdays in general is we call it senior day, but they get a discount by shopping on Thursdays. It's a once a week discount. That's been happening since, as long as I've been with the company. Well, they started that restriction yesterday, so there were people having to wait to get in the building yesterday. And I guess they were verbally abusing our associates, complaining about having to wait outside to get in. They were not having it. So I guess today things were a little bit better, because I was checking in with some of the associates outside to see how things were, and customers were a little bit more understanding today, and they are willing to deal with it. So yeah, that's how today started. And because of the limiting of customers in the building, it tended to even out things. So it is working. It is doing what it's intended. It's evening out the number of customers that are coming through our department. Instead of having them come in waves where it's really, really crowded and then it's really, really quiet, now is just steadily busy all throughout the day and not coming in peaks and waves. So I guess the intended purpose of doing that is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So that's good. We're also seeing that customers are not yet following the one-way aisle thing. They have arrows, but they made them out of duct tape, and they're just taped to the floor. And I think the arrows they made are too small. They only put one arrow at the beginning of each aisle, one arrow at the end of each aisle, so at each end, with no arrows in the middle along the way. And I think most customers are just flat out missing it. They're not looking down. So, and we were specifically told by our management that we're not going to enforce that particular rule. Customers are already annoyed about having to wait to get in. We're not going to really push the issue when it comes to that, but that's the way it's going to be for now, unless somebody from the state level comes in and makes us enforce the rule. We probably won't end up enforcing that one. But when it is busy, I'm still noticing a lot of people are crowding around the meat department and the meat area, which is kind of uncomfortable looking because you get a whole bunch of customers in a very small space. You know, we've been 4 weeks now, and for most of it, it's hard to get the certain cuts and types of meat that you want. It has been because of that. So people have got that mindset that they got to get what they want, so they're crowding themselves into the meat area trying to get what they want, and it's causing people to basically not obey the 6-foot rule. So anyway, other than that, it was a pretty uneventful day. It was more of the same stuff. Our sub shop wasn't as busy as it normally is on Friday. Normally we do a lot of subs, now we're not, or the last couple of weeks we haven't really. Still pretty chilly out today though. It was 50 when I went into work this morning at, well, I got there at 11, so 10:30 or so. And it's only 55 now, so it's been kind of chilly all day. I don't think we ever got out of the 50s today. Clear skies, the air is really dry. Could be a lot worse though. Parts of Maine, where I've got friends and family, got as much as 6 inches of snow today, which is something that's not unheard of for that area in this time of year. In fact, the year we got married, 3 days before we got married, we got 4 inches of snow, and we got married on May 4th. So, yeah, it's not uncommon for snow to fall in April and even early May in that part of the country. And gas is still $1.59. I had heard that the gas might be going back up a little bit here soon, shortly, but they've been saying that a while and it keeps dropping. But it's been at $1.59 for a couple of weeks now, so I would expect that it's probably going to go back up here pretty soon. Because it sounds like Saudi Arabia and Russia have solved their little squabble. Well, anyway, it's getting dark. I'm about halfway home now. I don't really have anything else to say today. Tomorrow is another work day. Scheduled 9 to 5 tomorrow. I'll probably go in a little bit early. And then Sunday I'm scheduled, I can't remember what I'm scheduled Sunday. Sunday is the day that we got to clear the department out to get the floors ready to be done. But tomorrow it sounds like, I don't know, by the way things look, it's going to look to be a pretty busy day. I'm curious how long the lines will be tomorrow. I'm going to try to park the car in such a way that shows the line tomorrow. Don't have anything else going on tonight because it is after 7. By the time I have dinner, it'll be almost 9. It's actually approaching 8 right now. It'll be almost 9 by the time I have dinner. And I'm working at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'll probably go in a little bit early. So it'll be a relatively short night in terms of hanging out and doing whatever. I got some editing to get caught up on too, so yeah, that'll be it. I'm not sure if we're going to walk the dog tonight or not. It's kind of chilly, and I don't know. If we walk the dog, there'll be an additional part to this video. If not, this will be it for the video for today. So we'll go ahead and end it, and until the next video or the next segment, we'll talk to you later. Bye.